those inventories are running out. So we're going to be at a critical point, I think, next month. That's going to determine the price of food for the holidays.
Grocery prices are skyrocketing, and that's according to this CEO of a small grocery chain. Trump has no plan of bringing them down, despite it being one of his biggest campaign promises. I mean, grocery is a word he seemingly heard for the first time last year and hasn't been able to get it out of his head ever since.
Groceries, they have a term, grocery. It's an old term.
I said we're going to try and get groceries down, right? An old-fashioned term, but a beautiful term.
It's such an old-fashioned term, but a beautiful term, groceries. It sort of says a bag with different things in it.
My favorite part of that is that groceries is not even an old-fashioned term. It's a word that most people say at least like once a week. But of course, Trump, being born with a silver spoon in his mouth and having spent his entire life as a coastal elite, wouldn't know that people say grocery pretty damn often. He's never stepped foot in a grocery store despite being the size of one. But if he ever did, he would have noticed that the price of groceries hasn't gone down since he started his presidency. In fact, they've only gone up. And wouldn't you know it, the main reason why groceries is going up is because of Trump's idiotic, self-destructive tariffs. Make sure you're subscribed to Really American, and let's just jump right into it.
Sandra Cora is food shopping for her mom, who lives on a fixed income.
She can barely afford half of this stuff. Like, do you pay your rent or do you buy food?
Everyday staples saw significant cost increases in the last year. Coffee up nearly 15%, ground beef up just over 11%. Egg prices hit by avian flu are falling, but still up more than 16%.
$7 for 3 ears of corn that just seemed twice as much as I've ever seen corn for anywhere.
My budget has become double for food shopping.
It wasn't supposed to happen.
A vote for Trump means your groceries will be cheaper.
Food prices behave in a way that I describe as rockets and feathers.
Ricky Volpe is a professor of agribusiness at California Polytechnic State University.
Food prices rise quickly as a result of upstream costs, and that could be any number of things: commodity prices, energy, labor, regulation, but they come down slowly, if at all.
He says tariffs on aluminum and steel implemented in March are impacting the price of groceries now. They're showing up in higher costs for canned foods and beverages, but in less obvious ways too.
Steel is absolutely essential to food manufacturing, processing, storing, and transportation.
One bright spot about U.S. food supply: only about 10% of grocery store food is imported and now subject to further tariffs.
It's no surprise that people are finding their grocery prices are increasing. They kind of touched on it in that segment there, but if the cost of steel and aluminum go up, that means the cost of pretty much everything is going to have to go up, because the people who manufacture products or produce something like milk have to buy machinery, and that machinery is made of aluminum and steel. So the price of everything is going to be increasing because Trump is imposing a period of stagflation. That's according to this new reporting from Reuters. The specter of U.S. stagflation is stalking global markets, causing some investors to position portfolios to dodge the potential damage that tariffs could wreak on growth and inflation in the world's dominant economy. Some 70% of global investors surveyed by Bank of America Global Research in early August say that they expect stagflation, a combination of below-trend growth and above-trend inflation in the next 12 months. This is a point that Stu Leonard Jr. here, who's holding the shrimp, made in his interview with CNN. His segment goes a little bit long here, but I think it's worth listening to what his points are because he has some expertise in the subject.
Hi, Stu. Quite the backdrop you have for us. All right, I know you have some props as well. What items at your stores are going up the most with prices?
Well, here's a good one. You guys could put this on the grill right here, but here's probably one of our ranchers' favorite when they come, sort of like a Fred Flintstone steak. But, ribeye steaks are huge, and meat prices have gone up. We're at a historic low herd size in America, so the supply is very low, and prices have ticked up. I just talked to our meat buyer this morning, and he said he's feeling even more escalation in meat, could be around 80 cents to $1 a pound coming up to the holidays.
So when do you see that trend subsiding?
Boy, I don't know. Another thing that's really big is we have shrimp, and right now we can either get it from Ecuador, we could get it from India, but the bay there, India has huge tariffs, so we're not buying it from India right now. That's 50%, I believe, and now Ecuador is at 15%. So we're trying to move our shrimp production over to Ecuador, which is huge. We do 500,000 pounds of shrimp a year at Stu Leonard, so it's a big thing. So bananas is one thing. It's a 15% tariff from Costa Rica. We don't grow them in America, so you have to import those, and that's a 15% tariff. Our importers eating the whole thing. They have not raised the price yet. So I talked to our buyers this morning. The seas are calm. We have not raised prices at Stu Leonard's due to the tariffs. We've had a little bit of increase in things like aluminum trays from China and stuff. Negligible. We haven't raised prices, but I don't see that happening unless this tariff thing gets worked out by really next month or even October.
Just to be clear, you don't see your ability to continue not raising prices unless the tariff situation is worked out. Is that what you're saying?
Well, we've been here 50 years. We work on thin margins. Like my dad always said, people have to eat. So we're always going to be busy and have sales, but we don't make a lot of money. Now, I can't absorb. If all of a sudden there's a 50% tariff on something or even a 25%, I can't absorb all of that. As a family business. So a lot of our suppliers have brought stuff over in inventory pre-tariff. Those inventories are running out. So we're going to be at a critical point, I think, next month. That's going to determine the price of food for the holidays.
So according to Stu, the steak guy, we got about a month until we see prices in the grocery store start to shoot up once again. Grocery stores are going to lose the ability to cover these additional costs that come from the tariffs. So this is going to be just in time for the holidays. Donald Trump really is a political mastermind. We'll see how this plays out come Thanksgiving and Christmas when folks are struggling to afford their holiday hams. I mean, one thing's for sure, Trump won't give a shit. He'll be stuffing his face with as much as the Ozempic will allow. So as we move into the fall months and folks start having to pull their purse strings a little bit tighter, make sure you know who to blame. Kenkel's McTaco Tits over here for getting his art of the deal all over the best economy in the world. If you guys want to stay informed on the kind of stuff that Trump and MAGA doesn't want you to know, well then you know where to find it, right here at Really American. I'm Tony Hinderman, and I'll catch you next time.